Inside the Paint. I'm Jeanette Kwakye, and this is the British Basketball League's in-depth look at all the action coming to your socials this week. 3 games down and 5 to go for round 5 of the British Basketball League's 36th season. And one of the games on Friday night saw Cheshire Phoenix travel to take on the London Lions at the Copper Box. Let's take a look at what happened. So after a delayed tip-off at the Copper Box, the Cheshire Phoenix seemed to be asleep during the first quarter, allowing the Lions to dominate and establish an early 10-point lead. Now, Cheshire did start to wake up in the second quarter, with Cam Holden stepping up and scoring 13 points by the end of the first half. But it was too little too late as the entire Lions lineup continued to grow their lead and completely shut out the Phoenix from the three-point line. London did what they did best, controlling that final 10 minutes, and Cheshire left the Copper Box disappointed as London Lions secured the win with a final score of 99-80. A delighted team there. Coach Youngblood in charge, and they've done a great job. It's 7 of 7. Alongside me, Azania Stewart, Mike Tuck, and what a game that was. It's just showing again the dominance that London Lions have early season on.
Yeah, fantastic, but their dominance goes throughout their bench. You know, they played 10 players, everyone scored who played, everyone did their job, and they're really playing with such fun and lightness, and you can really see it on the court.
And that's the main thing, isn't it? It's a cohesive team, isn't it, Mike, what we're seeing here?
Yeah, it definitely is, and I think Azania said it there, like throughout all their lineups, even their second lineup, you know, they're down a head coach right now. They're down Jordan Taylor, they're down Decker, but then they still find a way to win. And that second lineup really gave them that big spark of energy, subbing in halfway through the first. You know, Tariq Phillip, Josh Sharma. There's so many guys stepping up tonight.
Look at the depth. They've got the depth. That's what everyone has to be after this season. Let's have a look at what game week 5 has got in store for you and what it's given you so far. So on Thursday, of course, we'll chat about this in a minute. Caledonia Gladiators, they took on the Plymouth City Patriots. That score there, 99-83. And then, of course, on Friday today, 91-74. The Leicester Riders beating Surrey Scorchers. And then, we've just seen it, 99-80. London Lions dominating the Cheshire Phoenix there. And then let's get into the rest of the weekend. On Saturday, Plymouth City Patriots up against the Bristol Flyers. That's at 5 o'clock. Our coverage starts on the YouTube channel. And then Manchester Giants against the Leicester Riders at 8 o'clock. If that's not enough for you, let's go to Sunday. The Sheffield Sharks, Mike Tuck's team, 3 o'clock. They take on the Caledonia Gladiators, and Cheshire Phoenix back in action again at 6 o'clock against the Manchester Giants. And then the London Lions, no rest for the wicked, 7:30 up against the Newcastle Eagles. On Thursday night, the Caledonia Gladiators hosted the Plymouth City Patriots. They won that game 99-83. Former Sheffield Shark Mike Tuck alongside me. You were calling that game, weren't you? What did you think of the Patriots in particular?
Well, the Patriots, yeah, it was an uphill battle for them, and we kind of said that game was going to be the battle of the boards. Obviously, the Caledonia Gladiators leading the league in rebounds right now, and the Plymouth City Patriots in dead last. So it was going to be an uphill battle for them, and Caledonia really had their act together. They were throwing the ball inside every time they could, and this Caledonia team is really starting to come together. They're really starting to get a little bit more cohesive. For the Plymouth City Patriots, you know, a tough one. They had some really shining lights in Taylor Johnson, who started the game really well, and TJ Atwood, both on 26 points. Faulkner only with 11 points, but they were really kind of missing that inside presence.
Lots of work to do for the Patriots this season, for sure. The other game that was on this Friday saw the Surrey Scorchers take on the Leicester Riders at the Morningside Arena. Dan Routledge and Josh Beck can tell us what happened.
Well, it finished a comfortable win for the Leicester Riders in the end, 91-74, Josh. And really, the Riders, towards the end of the second quarter, took control of the game and then ran away with it in the second half.
Well, this is the thing about the team. We focus on, you know, quite a few of their backcourt players, but it was the man that came off the bench. Now, granted as well, Holmes had a phenomenal shooting night, but this is a characteristic of a team who have championship expectations, or at least to challenge London Lions this season. On any given night, it could be any player's night to step up. In this case, it was Kimball McKenzie.
Well, Kimball McKenzie led the bench unit, and the bench unit actually outscored the starters for Leicester, 47 points, and it really shows the strength and depth that Rob Paternoster has put together today.
Oh, we've seen this time and time again over the seasons. You know, you've had multiple teams challenge Leicester over the years. But as I said, this team knows how to adapt. They know how to regroup, but it's all down to a good coach, a man who's very meticulous and is very, very disciplined with his sets.
And Surrey Scorchers still looking for their first win of the season. At times they played well, obviously hampered by an injury to Hunt in the first half. He left on crutches. That's a blow for them going forward.
Yeah, they played some very good basketball. This is a talented team, a very guard-oriented team. They got 2 post players that they're trying to fit around the offense. They did go to a big lineup tonight, but Leicester's a very tough place to play on the road. I mean, you're almost expecting Leicester to win at home. What Surrey need to do is try to convert some of these games into victories at their own home and turn it into a fortress.
They certainly do. Big win for Leicester here. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you very much to Josh and Dan. Now, Saturday's doubleheader will start off with a Southwest derby when the Bristol Flyers travel to take on the Plymouth City Patriots. They're back in action again. And for the Patriots coach, Paul James, he's 1 win away from 500 league wins. What's it going to take for them to get this win? We heard it from Mike, though. Azania, what do you think?
Well, fantastic for Paul James, going after that win. But can they really get it? They've been struggling. They're trying to find their second win. And I just think TJ Atwood has been incredible. 26 points last game, and he had 30 points when they last played Bristol a few weeks ago. So he is somebody they're going to look to score, but they're struggling to find that second win, especially with a Bristol team that have come off a big first European win. They're going to be feeling good. It's going to be difficult for him to get that 500
And they
win.
are buzzing, Bristol. They've beaten Plymouth twice now. They're going to have the same kind of approach, you think, going into this game?
Yeah, I think especially after that European win, that gives teams a lot of confidence. Their first one ever. But also they played Plymouth I think it was last week, and it was a big win. So the game plan's already kind of there. The scouts already there. They're going to be fresh in their mind. They're going to know what they have to do to take them down.
Okay, brilliant stuff. Well, the Leicester Riders, they'll take on the Manchester Giants to close out Saturday's games. And the Giants have a few former Riders on their team in the form of Jamal Anderson and Evan Walsh. Will this give the Giants an edge, though, when they take on Leicester? Former Leicester Rider Ant Rowe. I mean, the Riders seem to have found a bit of a routine after losing their first game of the season to the Eagles. How much of this can be attributed to Rob Paternostro's coaching?
Well, they've got that first loss out the way, Jeanette, and now they are flying 4-1 currently. Just a healthy win just against the Surrey Scorchers. And look, I think whenever you return back to your former club, you always want to show out. So the Riders are going to have to be cautious that there's going to be a high, energetic Evan Walsh looking to ruin the party, as well as the all-ever professional Jamal Anderson. So those are the 2 key weapons there. But look, Kimball McKenzie, historically last year, had really good showings against the Manchester Giants. So look for him to inflict his offense and high confidence currently on them.
I like how you preach caution for the Leicester Riders, because you go into Manchester, and this is a team that does have talent, and they ran with London for a little while. Is this a team, though, when you look at Manchester, they're still trying to find their identity?
I think so. They've got a lot of new pieces there, including a new coach. And if you want to play the caution game, if I was the Leicester Riders, I'd be very cautious of Nicholas Lewis. 24 massive points against the London Lions. He can shoot it from anywhere on court. Leicester Riders are going to have to locate him and mitigate his point production.
So, Jeanette, the operative word is caution.
Always, never caution with both of you. Never caution with both of you. Thank you very much to Todd and Ant. Now we're set up for another doubleheader on Sunday when the Sheffield Sharks host the Caledonia Gladiators in the new Cannon Medical Arena. But both teams have new arenas to call home now. So how important is that, though, for the infrastructure for the league? And I know that you're loving your new stadium as well over there in Sheffield.
Yeah, I mean, it's very important, and it's great to see this season that 2 new teams are moving into their own venues, a trend that's continuing in our league, and hopefully we'll see more teams jumping on board with that. But for this game on Sunday, obviously both teams, new arenas, the Sharks 1-0 in that arena. Big win against Newcastle last week on Sunday. So another week here. You got to protect home court, baby. They're coming in kind of a red-hot Caledonia Gladiators team, but I think they're going to be ready and confident playing at home.
Oh, it's going to be exciting. It's going to be very, very exciting. And to finish off the Sunday, Manchester Giants will travel to take on the Phoenix. This is the Giants' second game in 2 days. This is tough. Now, how do these teams balance their recovery with busy schedules? Will Cheshire be hoping to capitalise on a tired Manchester team?
Yeah, I think this is where, your rest and recovery is so important. Make sure you eat, you sleep, you ice down, you stretch. This is where these little things really make a difference. When you're turning around less than, 24, 48 hours, you've got a scout, you've got to get yourself ready. It's a really important game.
It's all about recovery, all about body management, game management generally. And to finish off this weekend of basketball, big weekend of basketball, the Newcastle Eagles will travel to the Copper Box to take on the London Lions and former Newcastle Eagle Drew Lasker. Newcastle, they got a tough schedule last week. They've had 8 days to recover. Will that add anything for them, give them an advantage when they take on the Lions next week?
Well, the Newcastle Eagles went 0-3 last week, and I think it's fair to say that they're struggling. And everything is about timing, and it couldn't be a worse possible time to face the London Lions, who's 7-0 domestically and 2-0 in Europe and flying. And by the way, Sam Decker is on the way. So, after, that 30-point loss down in Sheffield, what I'm looking for is for these the guys that come out with some grit and some muscle. And, we've seen crazier things happen, so you never know with London Lions' schedule next week. We could see a upset on the horizon, but I'm not going to take it that far. But it's a good game we have on our hands in store, guys.
Awesome. Thank you very, very much, Drew. And actually, there's rumours saying that Sam Decker could be back on Monday, right? And that makes it very exciting. So make sure you're tuned in for that one. But don't forget to subscribe right here to the British Basketball League YouTube channel. Plenty of action, a big weekend of basketball coming your way.